everyone. This is Roberta HOSKIE, aka Miss Millionaire Mindset, and we are here with a powerful woman. I am so happy to have her with us today, Miss NECOLE Parker. She's the president, CEO, founder of ELOCEN Group out of Atlanta, Georgia. I believe she has other offices as well. As you know, every month we spotlight a power woman that's going to share her story with us and push us to the next level. We learn from others, and we're definitely going to learn something from this power woman that we have on the telephone with us right now. Hello, NECOLE. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you so much for having me. I much appreciate it.
It's definitely our pleasure. Definitely our pleasure. So happy. So, tell us a little bit about tell us about yourself. Tell us about the ELOCEN Group. Let's talk about that first. Your ELOCEN Group. What do you do? Tell us about it.
Okay, so the ELOCEN Group is a program, project, and construction management firm who operates in the new construction and renovation arena, managing construction projects. We are comprised of roughly 60 employees, and we are out of 3 states, Washington, D.C., where we're headquartered. We're also in Bowie, Maryland, as well as in Atlanta, Georgia, which is our second largest office. And so I am the traveling CEO. I live between 2 states, Washington, D.C., and Atlanta, just running the offices and the contracts, where we also work in both the federal as well as the commercial arena. And some of our clients include, for the federal government, Food and Drug Administration, General Services Administration, the National Science Foundation, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, just to name a few. And on the commercial side, Coca-Cola is a client of ours, and MGM is a client of ours on the commercial side as well. And just happy to be able to be a woman CEO, walking, I would say, in a man's beat, because it's a male-dominated industry, and as a woman, I have to walk 3 times as fast. And probably for my height, I only stand 5'2", so I'm really always walking 3 times as fast to stay up.
Yes, absolutely. And, I'm in real estate as well. I have a real estate brokerage, and I do some development here in Connecticut. So I definitely understand that. And you said something that I want you to elaborate on. You said you have to work harder because it's a male-dominated field. What are some of the things that you've encountered over the years? And how did you handle them? Just give us some examples.
And so for me, this year I celebrate 24 years in the project and construction management industry.
Fabulous.
And 9 years with the company. So certainly women have come a long way as it relates to construction, the construction industry and working in that industry, the facilities industry, as well as women overall being in leadership roles over the last 20 years. They have come a long way, and so it's great to see women doing and being what they want to do, because we know we as women are multitaskers. We're moms, we're daughters, we're wives, we assist people, we're sisters, and we're business owners. And so just being able to, 1, multitask, and 2, work in a male-dominated industry, some of the hurdles and challenges alone of working in that industry that I've faced are promotion passovers, or telling me, this is a man's world, you don't belong in this industry, and you're not going to make it, or, take your seat and let a man handle a man's job. And so just being able to be patient, put God first, and not accept no for an answer. It's funny, I adopted the word no several years back as to stand for next opportunity, because
I like that one. I like that one. I may have to share that one.
Alrighty. My
Yeah,
opportunities that have been afforded me have not come that first, second, and sometimes not that third time, but maybe that fourth, fifth, or sixth time. And so I just encourage everyone when they're faced with barriers, whether in their industry or just day to day, to bend but not break, and stay the course and just look for that next opportunity, because it may not be now, but if it's something that you really want and you're passionate about, then I say continue to go for it until you succeed with it.
absolutely. Now, what did you do prior to starting the Ellison Group? What did you do?
So for me, again, I celebrate 24 years in this construction and project management industry. I worked for two large firms where I traveled nationally throughout the United States on construction projects for a large construction firm, Gilbane Construction Firm, and then a design firm. I did a lot of DOD federal work for Department of Defense for several years on the construction side. And then I worked for two small minority firms, just educating myself. I always wanted to start my own business, but not really sure and knowing what that would be or how I would do it. I got my earlier education on the construction side that I hated at first, but began to like it later on in my career. And
Yeah.
so that's what I did prior to starting Ellison.
Okay, so this earlier this morning I spoke at a school, and one of the questions was asked, how did you know you when it was time to leave your job and become your own boss and start your own company? And so I had fun answering that question. So I'm going to actually pose the same question to you. At what point, what was it? Was there a trigger or something that happened, or when did you know what, I am going to leave this job, because you had a good job, and start my aunt's
Absolutely.
business? And
Um,
that's a fear factor that I think a lot of people deal with. So how did you deal with it?
it's funny. At the point of no return, where I said enough is enough. What are you waiting for, Nicole? You're working so hard, you're putting in all these hours. When are you going to start this company? And it wasn't until it was just slapped before me by the previous company that I worked for, telling me I had several employees who reported to me. I was maintaining 70% of the revenue, carrying 70% of the revenues at this company, and I was denied my promotion and
Oh,
told that my promotion would not occur until the end of the year, and it was mid-year, and I had knew what the revenues were, and not only was it my promotion, but it was other female employees, and it just felt like a slap in the face. And I was also told that it would not be retroactive once I received it at the end of the year. And I actually, one of the biggest things that broke me down, and I just said enough is enough. All the long hours, all the hard work, helping build this company, and just doing things with my passion. I went home and had a conversation with my father as I was crying at the table, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. And he says, and I just said, I don't know what I'm going to do about it. And he says, yes, you do. You're going to quit. You're going to go back in there. You're going to quit. And because they need you. Look what you've done for that company, and they don't appreciate you. And it wasn't until then that I really, really thought about it and said, although I have this job making a decent salary, what am I fearing? Because all the work that I'm doing is bringing it to the job. What am I fearing? And so one of the most important things for me, when I went back the next day, I literally resigned from that job with two documents in my hand. The first one was a resignation letter. The second one was a letter for them to do business with me as a consultant on my terms.
Oh, listen, if you were here, I'll give you all types of high fives. Love it.
And
Love
they were flabbergasted, just stunned. But it was the same look that I had given them the previous day when I was holding back the tears when they told me, no, we're going to hold all salary increases until the end of the year. And, I had enough. I had a son who was getting ready to enter high school. I was in the midst of going through a divorce, and I just said it can't get any worse than this. I'm going to go for this. I took it before God.
Yes.
It wasn't easy, but it was something that I did and a decision that I made.
That's fabulous. And isn't it amazing how the pressure of life and perceived problems end up being the best thing that could ever happen to you? Isn't that awesome?
Absolutely.
And so what I like to teach and help women and men too, but my heart is with the ladies, to train the thought process on how you deal with problems and how you perceive problems. Like even this morning I said I really don't believe in problems. They're really platforms and opportunities. So it's a choice.
They are.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
You can get bummed out and cry and woe is me and be the victim, or you can choose to take that blow which was given to you, stand up, get a resignation letter and a contracting letter and sit and put it before their face and do your own thing. That's power. That's awesome. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you can tell us, and we were talking a little bit before we were recording, and I said I don't know if you read my story. I said, but I did definitely saw a lot of similarities with my story and my companies and what I'm doing also with Millionaire Mindset and empowering women and so on and so forth. I saw a lot of similarities between the two of our stories, and you were about to say something, and I said, hold on one second. I want to make sure that we get this on recording. So I'm not sure where you were going to go to, what you were going to say.
And you're going to kill me because I forgot what I was going to say. As an entrepreneur, I'm sure you can understand and appreciate that your mind is always churning on new things. So I forgot that thought, but I'm sure it will come back up in the other questions.
You know what? That's funny. That's so funny because let me tell you, I definitely identify with you. That's why I have to write everything down. But I think we were talking about the struggle and the press and how you have to be determined to have a made up mind to be successful, whatever success is to you. We were talking about that, and it's clear that you had obstacles that you had to be determined, that you had to have determination and a lot of willpower to overcome. So we were going in that direction. And then we're going to wrap it up because I know you got to get back to work. But if you can share with us 2 of your most valuable life lessons learned, 1 or 2.
Sure, I will. And I want to just piggyback on, what success is to me. It's funny that you say that or we talk about that. And I can't emphasize enough that, I was in Bible study last night and we were talking about forgiveness and who haven't you forgave, and, my pastor, who's an awesome pastor, and he teaches from, I always tell him he's the mentor that teaches from afar. And when I say from afar, because I can listen to his word all over the world, and I can tell you, so many people, and I know that you yourself probably get that, where people say, I aspire to be successful like you, or to have this, or to have a company like that, or to do this, or to be on this interview or that interview. But one of the things that my mentor shared is, with success or there's chapters in life, and God doesn't give us more than we can handle. And so success for me is really being able to give back to people that don't believe that they can have success or that they can grow, or how do they get to that next step because they don't have the opportunity to do so. And so success is far different for me now than what it was before. I mean, there are things that, I aspire in life, or things that I would say I have on my bucket list, or goals that I want to accomplish. But success is for me to really, really just continue to live life through God's eyes and how He wants us to live, and to really, really be able to pour back into my community, beginning from my family, my friends, and the people that reach out to me, and the people that, who think maybe they can't touch me or can't touch other people that they aspire to be by, because we're all just human. I say this in my interviews, in my panels that I sit on or talking. We are no different than the next person, whether that's Barack Obama, whether that's, for some people, Beyonce, or a football player, or a basketball star. We're all the same. We get up every morning, we brush our teeth, we shower, and we get dressed the same way. The only difference is one's male, one's female. And so success for me is really giving back, and it says, to whom much is given, much is required. And so when I signed up to be an entrepreneur, the biggest thing on my mind was, I want to be like these other construction companies. I want to be able to grow and do this and do that. And really, it's just being able to give back. I didn't know that I would be signing up to do interviews or to speak. I was always the person, the best example I give of myself, I was always the worker, the laborer, working many hours to understand everything that it took to do a job, from the contract to how they put the contract together, to what it entailed, to the services of the job, to the pricing, everything I always wanted to know. So I was the paralegal to the lawyer, or the anesthesiologist to the doctor, or the film director to the people that are in the movies. And so I was always that behind the scenes person, and it wasn't until God showed me, well, as you grow, you have to give back more. And so that's what success feels like to me, and is to me, the more I give, the more, God gives to me. And so I'm really, really excited about that. And I love male, female audience, but I am for the woman. And it just comes from my background and where I came, and the single mother with one son. And I was the mother that was standing in the financial aid line negotiating, please let me take my final exams. I will find the money to finish paying for this quarter, or let me get into school this semester. I promise you, before the end of the semester, I will find the money. I was that student with my son on my hip. I had very young parents who unfortunately did not finish college, but they instilled in us that, you can do and be anything you want to be, and don't let anyone tell you different. So with that, I just want to close, with a couple of things. One of the Bible verses that I also carry with me is Habakkuk 2:2, and T.D. Jakes talks about this. T.D. Jakes is a awesome pastor, but he's also an awesome leader in teaching other leaders, and I've followed him for the last 6 or 7 years so far, just listening to his leadership tapes. But he often preaches to leaders on Habakkuk 2:2, and it says, write the vision and read it so you may run it. And you always keep that vision with you. And it's okay to update that vision, and things don't always go according to plan or happen on that timeline, but keep it in front of you, because if you don't write it, you will not fulfill it. If you don't read it, you won't be able to run it. And so those are key. I encourage the ladies and men to stay the course, and then most importantly, bend but do not break. So,
love it. I'm so happy to have you here with us, Nicole. Thank you so much for your words of encouragement, your wisdom. Congratulations for all of your achievements, and I know that the best is still yet to come. I consider you a sister. Consider me a sister.
Absolutely.
We definitely have the same mission of giving back, and what I say is that I am on a mission with Miss Millionaire Mindset to break what I call the poverty curse. And God is phenomenal. He shows himself over and over again. So thank you, Nicole, for being a living testimony of what God can do. And I so look forward to maybe doing some type of collaborations. I have I'm going to throw it out there. I have a Miss Millionaire Mindset conference cruise we're doing in 2017, and I would love to chat with you about that one. All right?
Absolutely. Keep
and that's
me
for
in
the
mind.
women only.
I would look forward. I would look forward to talking to you about that. Awesome.
Excellent, excellent. I'm so proud of you. Keep doing what you do. And again, consider me your sister.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.